I want you to know that I've heard the argument that your counsel has put forward and that you have put forward, and I've internalized that. You entered a plea bargain agreement, and according to your plea bargain agreement, it was capital 4 silent, right? And the court granted you deferred adjudication. At that time, I listened to your previous attorneys, their argument.
Isaiah Deleo de los Santos thought he had the perfect excuse. He disappeared for months to see his children. He called it father instinct. But Judge Stephanie Boyd isn't looking for excuses, she's looking at a broken contract. Watch as the defendant's face falls when the judge realizes he hasn't done a single thing since his release. In this courtroom, the law always comes before the story. And today, the price is 4 years.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3928 State versus Isaiah de los Santos. Could I have parties announced for the record?
And Eric DeWalt, and I represent Mr. De Los Santos.
And are you Mr. de los Santos?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Are you the same Isaiah de los Santos who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 3928 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams on February 8, 2024 for a period of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Violation of condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Isaiah de los Santos, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of March and April 2024 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
That's true.
And we waive and abandon the remainders, Your Honor.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
I do, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not, Your Honor. The state is asking that you revoke the defendant's community supervision and sentence him to a term of 5 years in the prison. And that is due to the violation which was pled true to that the probation department has not heard from the defendant since February of 2024.
All right, in defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, I'm requesting that that you deny the MTR and continue him on, and I would like to discuss options,
All right,
if I may.
so I'm going to need to know why he didn't report.
Yes, Your Honor. When I took over the case, I saw what he was charged with. He's facing a second-degree felony, and I came up to with my client, not expecting to know what was going to come out of his mouth. He readily just came out and said, Your Honor, his 2 children moved to Abilene. He hadn't seen them. He chose to see his children over probation, which is, he knows. Is not an excuse. We'll get into that. Absolutely not. He ended up working his way back to San Antonio. I asked him if he turned himself in. He got pulled over for a traffic violation. He has no priors and he didn't pick up anything new, but he hasn't done anything since. I know this is a crazy argument to say he hadn't done anything, but I know he would like to address the court. And when I spoke to him, he was very genuine to me. And I said, basically, you're going to be making your own argument to the judge.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I mean,
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
I'm Isaiah de los Santos.
All right, somebody needs you to speak up, 1, so I can hear, because I have allergy ear, and so the court reporter can hear, okay?
My name is Isaiah de los Santos.
All right, so what would you like to say? And of course, you know, I want to know why you disappeared. And it appears, since the dates are in here are from 2024, it appears that you've been missing.
Well,
since 2024 of April, at least.
That's correct. When I was before signing probation, I was 3 months in Bexar County jail. So when I got out, I was trying to look for my kids and found out they moved 500 miles away from San Antonio. So I made an rational decision to go see my children.
All right, that still doesn't explain to me why you didn't contact probation, because your attorney will tell you. Usually when people have things, employment, or there's something with their children, or you can always ask permission from the court And then I will hear it and either I'll grant it or not. But it appears nobody knows where you are.
I know, I just made an irrational choice. I really, is, I guess my father instincts just, it was just more of seeing my children than like, I really didn't think about it, right?
So did you see your children?
Yes, I did, man.
And when did you see your children? What year?
Same year, but I want to say a couple of months after, going to Abilene.
So you're saying like June
Yes,
or
ma'am.
July 2024, that's when you saw your children? Okay.
How many children do you have?
I got 2 children.
How old are they?
Right now, one of them 16 and one of them 17.
Are you employable?
I employ, yes, I am.
What are you asking of this court?
Just to be sympathetic towards me and my father's instinct, I know that,
You know the court isn't gonna award you for just disappearing, correct?
yes,
But you haven't picked up any new cases.
yeah,
Have you been using any drugs?
no drugs.
Are you clean?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been waiting for this MTR? About a month?
A month.
Okay. Anything the court puts in front of you, if they put an ankle monitor on you, if they have you have a cognitive thinking course, anything they put in front of you, are you saying you can do it?
I can do it.
Are you asking for this judge for one chance?
One chance,
Some
yeah.
type of remedy for your bad decisions?
That's like,
Yes.
Okay, Mr. De Los Santos, so when you were placed on probation, you provided an address of 1107 Lavetta Boulevard. For renting that
Yes.
location? Okay, and so when you were released from the Bear County Jail, did you report back to that location before going to Abilene?
I only reported like back to that office for like 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so you lived there for 2 or
2 or
3
3
days
days.
after your
Yes, ma'am.
release and then went to Abilene.
And then I went to my mother-in-law's house that is Santos,
Okay,
and that's how I found out my kids had moved, my children had moved to Abilene, Texas.
okay. And so I guess you understand that the reason you have to provide that address is so that probation can get in contact with you if they need, right?
Yes.
And so when you're placed on probation, you also have to provide like phone numbers and stuff for probation to be able to get into contact with you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so in this case, you provided probation with, I guess your girlfriend at the time's number. Do you recall that?
I do.
Provided to them so that they can get in contact with you, right? Okay, and then also, your mother, do you recall that,
Yes.
Janina? And then also your grandmother, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and your brother, right?
my brother.
Okay, and so are you aware that the probation department made contact with all of these people and none of them were able to tell probation where you were?
Yeah,
Okay, so did these people know that you were in Abilene or?
no,
No?
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
so you just left the city without telling your family?
yes,
Okay, and then you were picked up back in San Antonio, is that correct?
yes, I came back here to fix this
Okay,
problem.
okay, but you never contacted probation, you were just picked up on a traffic
Yes.
stop, correct? Okay, we talked about it too.
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I want you to know that I've heard the argument that your counsel has put forward and that you have put forward, and I've internalized that. You entered a plea bargain agreement, and according to your plea bargain agreement, it was cap before silent, right? And the court granted you deferred adjudication. At that time, I listened to your previous attorneys, their argument. But you haven't done anything on probation. That's a problem. And it tells me that maybe probation is not good for you. So I'm going to grant the motion. I'm going to find you guilty and I'm going to revoke. The state is saying they're requesting 5 years. Defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, I would respectfully request the court to consider 2 years.
This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no residing in households with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
That's your signature.
Oh, that's yours.
Oh, sorry.
Sure, no problem. You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for consideration, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2025 CR 016034, State versus Victor Guerrero. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Florida's notice of state.
Charles Gold from Ms. Guerrero.
And are there applications in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Guerrero, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Guerrero, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with theft of property less than $2,500 with 2 or more previous convictions. As a state jail felony, range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Guerrero, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility and an $800 fine. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
It did. It did.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yeah.
By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers states exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. Court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, we just asked that you follow the agreement. It was $99 worth of Sawzall blades.
All right. Court will find you guilty, sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's an $800 fine, time and money to run concurrently, and there is to be no contact with Home Depot. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Guerrero, what is the issue? Why do you keep stealing?
I mean, I was just started work for a little while and old habit. That,
So is there anything else going on with you?
no, it's just, well, my wife was gonna go to heart surgery. So that's why I needed some money and I wasn't working at the time, so.
Here's the thing, though. What would happen if everybody who needed something, everybody just starts stealing?
I understand. Yeah.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you continue stealing, at some point, you're gonna be designated an habitual. And depending on what the offense is, you may be looking at 2 to 20 years, or you may be looking at a minimum of 25 years in the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I always tell this story to people. One time I represented someone who was on parole. They were doing life for a burglary of a vehicle, and that was when burglary of the vehicles were felonies. And then I had another client who was doing life for a theft case. Don't be that person. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
All right, so I don't know why she's in custody. What happened?
There must have been a confusion on the court date. I know I had a conflict and moved it a week.
Mhm.
That's my guess on the bond company then withdrawing. But
Oh, so the bonds.
bond company asking for an off bond.
Ah, okay.
She was here and she's always been available and is reporting well in probation.
All right. So are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Judge, the state is asking to withdraw the motion. We have conditions to alter and amend to include the cognitive program through the probation agreement.
And what is happening to the allegations that are in the motion?
We're gonna go down to county court 2 right away, take care of it.
All right.
The only allegations was those for one and then for not.
All right. So is there an issue with the community service hours for you?
No, ma'am. I've just been working.
A little
on
louder,
them.
please.
I've been working on them as I can. I recently got injured in August and I've been to physical therapy 5 days a week just to. But before that, I was doing my community service.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling DC 2022 CR 10027 State versus Hannah Marie Owens. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Brandon Prater for the state.
Jim Wheat for the defendant.
And you're Hannah Marie Owen.
Yeah.
All right, and it's the court's understanding off the record, both parties are requesting that the motion to be withdrawn.
Yes, Judge, we ask that you withdraw the motion and then amend it in accordance with the recommendation of probation.
All right, and probation, what amendments are you requesting?
The cognitive behavioral course.
All right, so off the record, you were telling, and I'm not gonna take you under oath. Off the record, you were telling me that you were working and so that wasn't interfering with your community service hours?
I got injured.
Injured, okay. Oh, what happened?
I actually got hit by a light fixture at a wedding reception in the back of the head.
Oh my gosh, you're lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, very well, thank God, right? Because I just watched something on Broken Wood Mystery where somebody got hit with a light fixture. They did not survive.
Yeah. I
Right, thank you. All right, so it's gonna be recalled,
Okay.
so y'all can uncuff her. I'm gonna recall the warrant. So with regards to community service hours, how many hours does she have?
Judge, based on the court summary, it looks like they don't have record of the community service hours being done. So it says 100 community service hours
Okay,
with 100 outstanding.
all right. So do you have children?
Yeah.
And what are their ages?
3 and 1.
3 and 1.
Um,
All right, I tell you what, if you complete a parenting class, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied.
That'd be great, Judge.
Otherwise, you'll have to do community service somewhere. I know sometimes it's difficult when you have children that age and you're taking care of them, running around everywhere. And I think they may have an online class for parenting. Probation, are you okay with parenting classes in lieu of the community service hours? All right, so once you complete those, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied.
Complete the parenting class.
Yes, I'm sorry, the parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied.
Will that be in
Yes. So we can go off the record. Here's the thing. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, you have to let probation know about it. If they don't know about it, then there's no issue. And then they just see what they see is that's on paper. And when I get a motion to revoke, I just look at it, see if it's in proper format and if it has allegations within it. And I'm trying to speak in layman's terms for you. And if everything is in order, then I sign it. And then what ends up happening, you have to make a bond and then your attorney will come here and they'll present whatever evidence that they want to present to me. So to avoid that, it's best that you stay in contact with your probation. You understand?
Yes.
All right. And back on the record, the court will recall the warrant. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care of the head injury.